Destitute coloured community in Eesterust has not received a single food parcel since the beginning of the lockdown. The community says that between government and the private sector, they are being sent from pillar to post. Now, many people here have gone without food since the lockdown went into effect. So SABC reporter Patricia Visagie has been interacting with the community, and she joins us now live from Eersterust, some 15 kilometers east of the Pretoria City Centre. Patricia, what are you witnessing there this morning?
Well, good morning. We're coming to you live from Eersterust. It is a community here in east of Pretoria. Community members obviously complaining, saying that since the lockdown, their lives have changed rapidly. Some of them saying that, of course, they're gripped under unemployment. Many of them had hoped that they would have been, given food parcels to at least, bridge the gap of all the challenges that they are facing. Many of the community members certainly unhappy, saying that they have not received food parcels yet, and all they're seeking is answers. Many of them saying that they have they did witness some food parcels that were delivered here in the community, but only certain people received these food parcels. So community members unhappy, saying that they want to know what was the criteria used, who qualified and who did not qualify. Many of them saying that they did apply for food parcels as it was indicated by the Gauteng government, but seemingly it's weeks later and they have not received anything. So they're seeking answers, saying they're unemployed, they're poor and they need help. So let's speak to one of the ladies here who was also aggrieved. If you can just introduce yourself for us.
Louise Liberty.
Louise, you are one of the community members who are feeling unhappy and you're looking for answers, saying that food parcels were delivered, but only a selected few received. And many of you who are standing here saying that you received nothing. And you want to know why.
Ja.
En sê vir ons, hoe voel julle as gemeenskap oor dit?
Ja, ons voel baie sleg, want ons word nie gesien nie in Nantes in nie. Want hulle kom net sekere huise, maar hier so by ons het ons niks gekry nog nie. En ons almal sukkel. Ek soos al die mense wat in die straat is, het baie kinders. Baie kinders, hulle sukkel baie en ons sukkel. Ons is in 'n twee-kamer. Ons het nie hand sanitizer om ons hande te was nie en goed en ons het nie maskers nie. Ons het niks nie. Selfs ons moet ons hande was en goed. Ons het nie kos om te eet nie. Ons werk en ons is werkloos. En in die huise is daar baie, ons het baie kinders in een huis in. En ons het twee kamers, het is privacy in twee kamer in nie. En die goed is hier, en ons het nie kos om te eet nie.
So gepraat van die koskwessie. Natuurlik is julle bekommerd oor die kospakkies wat nie afgelewer is nie.
Ons is afgelewer hier by ons nie. Net by ander strate en ander plekke. Ons hoor net die mense, ons vra asseblief tog, laat ons net food parcels kan kry, net laat die kinders kan lewe.
Okay. Kom ons los dit net daar. So let's move on just to speak to maybe another family that is affected, saying that they too did not receive food parcels. You can see in a community such as this, even social distancing is perhaps not a priority for many of them. And you would also have to ask whether there is a lockdown in this community when everybody is in the streets like this. But people not really, concerned about that. At this stage, they're saying that many of them are going to bed hungry. Their children don't have food and they're looking for answers. And they just want to know why have they not received food parcels. And it's a question that seems to be lingering from different parts of the capital city right now. So let's speak to this young lady. She lives with her mom. Her mother is a pensioner and she's not working. So this is their home right here behind us. So we're going to try and walk in just to show you the circumstances there. They don't have electricity and they don't have food. So it seems like it's a dire situation that is plaguing this family. And all they need is assistance at this stage. If you can maybe share your story with us.
Hallo, my naam is Giselle Davids. Ek bly by 519 Luluberg. Op die oomblik is my ma pensioen. Ons het nie eens kos vir die afgelope 21 dae wat nou al lockdown is nie. Ons het nie, dat is nie 'n werk nie, ons het niks gekry van die staat wat vir ons kan help met die lockdown nie. Ons sukkel, ons is 'n stuk van 10 in een huis in. Met 5 klein kindertjies. En 4 groot mense. Daar is nie eens 'n werk, daar is nie eens werk vir ons nie. Ons nodig help asseblief.
Okay. So kom ons stap 'n bietjie in dat ons bietjie sien hoe leef julle in hierdie huis en wat is julle omstandighede as jy mis net vir ons kan wys. Maar waar is jou ma op die oomblik?
My ma is nie so nie, sy's top. Sy's ook gevat, is nie.
As jy nou sê vir die afgelope weke sedert die inperking begin het julle nie kos nie. Watse planne maak julle?
So as my ma pensioen kry, koop sy vir ons 'n special rice, sak meel, sak rys en dit is amper klaar. Nou moet ons weer weg vir special of die kinderkrant. Daar was nog niks vir ons gegee of hulle het gesê hulle gaan Eesterust ook 'n supply met kospakke. Daar was niks vir ons kom gee nie. Die een familie het gekry hier in Nantes nie, Eersterust nie.
Maar ons hoor dat daar wel kospakkies afgelewer is. Wie het gekry? Het julle vrae gevra toe die kospakkies afgelewer is? Het julle daarom gevra wie is die mense wat kry? Hoe kwalifiseer hulle? Hoekom het julle nie gekwalifiseer nie?
Hulle vat ons het dit gevra en vat hulle net ons name. En dan sit hulle dit op papier en sê hulle sal vir ons bring. En so al 3 keer wat ons name opgesit het.
Okay, kom ons los dit daar. Kom ons praat met jou. Jy is ook een van die mense wat geraak is en jy is ook bekommerd. Ek weet nie of jy Engels kan praat nie, maar as jy kan asseblief so praat so beide dat ons almal kan akkommodeer.
Ek is Christopher Edwards, ek is die jeugleer van Eesterust. Ons is almal geaffekteer deur hierdie coronavirus ding. En as 'n die pandemic ding is baie ongerieflik vir ons gemeenskap. Ek meen as soos ons op 'n hoop opgeknop is in die 2 kamers. Ons is meer as 4-5 families in een huis in. En in elke jaar is daar amper agterkamers. So die kindertjies wat ons het is meer as 4 in elke kamer. So ons kinders word nie genotis nie. En elke keer word ons hoor van die kospakkies. Tot dusver weet ek dat daar kospakkies uitgegee is. Van ons name was gevat. Onze mense is opgesit, maar daar word die kospakkies gegee nie. Onze mense kan nie zula nie. Meeste van die jong mense, die jeug, sê 98% van die jeug werkie. En nou dat dit lockdown is, kan niemand salaris kry of enige ietsie. So dit is baie dit bekommer 'n mens, jy weet. To me, I would say it's unfair because now our youth doesn't work. They are unemployed. Most of the pensioners doesn't get their pension in full because most of them are struggling with the loan sharks and all that type of things. But yet, indeed, nobody delivered food parcels to us. So we just want to make sure that the government can notice us and make sure that we can be supplied because Nantes is the poorest area in Eersterust. We are the poor of the poorest. So I don't know what can we do to reach to the government to be noticed, because it's really unfair. The people that get food parcels, it's on top. The top sides, the high bucks in Eesterust. So I just don't understand why the people with money can get food parcels and we that are poor, that can't even provide for ourselves. Every day we have to look for bread just to feed some few children.
The other issue that we've heard that many of you, obviously, as young people, you're unemployed.
Yes, ma'am.
You have elderly people that are looking after you who are dependent on grants.
Yes.
But the rates and taxes in Eersterust are very high. That also takes a lot of their money. So they practically left with very little to buy food. And that is one of the problems that actually create the situation where there's no food, there's not enough money to buy food, and why some of you feel that it's imperative to get food parcels.
You know, ma'am, if only I'd know what to do to provide for the other people. But this lockdown, we're not even allowed to go on the streets. Because when you go to buy a bread, the police ask you, what do you want on the street? I mean, you go and look for someone that can help you. Because remember what the president said. He said, those who have is supposed to share the food parcels and everything that can accommodate the others that doesn't have. But now, here in Eesterust, it doesn't happen. Okay, let me count it off to Nantes, nobody comes here and look to provide for the people.
Do you feel forgotten?
Yeah, we feel neglected. We feel neglected by the government. We feel pressed down. We feel, I don't know, depressed. I could put it like that because this is not fair. What if our people die? Even in this street we have a funeral, but nobody can provide even just to compensate their people. It's not fair.
But the other question that many people would ask is,
yes, ma'am.
Under normal circumstances, when there's no lockdown, how do you survive if now you're all crying for food parcels? How do you survive?
Yes, most of us go out for peace jobs. We go and help other people. You know, the resources are open. There's shops that you can even go and clean to just get a compensate, a small bread or compensate for your family.
You can go and clean you can clean somebody's garden and get some.
Wash cars and stuff like that. We try. Most of the women here have 4 or 5 children. And then they're not even over 40 something, you know. They are still part of the youth. So what do we do? Because we try as the youngsters. We're not even how could I say? We're not lazy. We go out, we help people and all that, but nobody helps us. So it's not fair. And because we are so unemployed, the unemployment rate is so high. They don't even realize that. Otherwise, this thing is going to push us to a limit where we're going to rob the shops and stuff like that, because there's nothing we can do about it.
Right, let's leave it there. A community that is clearly desperate and frustrated, and all they need is help and they need answers. They also need guidance as to what exactly they can do to make sure that they get the assistance that they've been asking from government. Of course, there's a lot of confusion as well in terms of who qualifies for these food parcels. Why is it that some community members did get food, but others had to just watch while that food was actually delivered? So community members saying here that life has changed for them. Under normal circumstances, they would actually try and find means. They would do odd jobs, as you heard the gentleman just saying, from washing people's cars, cleaning gardens, working in the shops, and so forth. And that is how they would obviously breach the gap of hunger and poverty. But now with the lockdown, their homes are certainly left in a plague of hunger, and all they want is help. Later on, we will be speaking to the Department of Social Development to just find answers and find out why they certainly have not come to this community, and what actually is the delay, if there are delays, when people here are left in this desperate situation. I think for now, let's give it back to you in studio.
Patricia, just before I let you go, I mean, obviously the people there feel that they are being sent from pillar to post between government as well as the private sector. No word, though. No word from any authorities with regards to the plight of this community as yet. All right, it seems that Patricia, we lost connection with her, but we will try to get some answers. She said that she will be speaking to government in a short while, so we'll try to get back to Patricia. Patricia Visagie live for us in Eersterust.